In this video, we're going to go over many different ways you can select text. Now, you'll need to select text if you want to move or copy text, if you want to apply formatting to it. You'll be using this skill over and over again, so it's nice to have a wide variety of tools available to you. Some techniques work better in certain scenarios. The first way we're going to tackle is using the mouse. So one of the more common ways to select text is simply by clicking and dragging. Now you can think of selecting the text with mouse as painting over it. So I'm pointing at this software documentation and I'm going to basically paint over it by clicking my mouse button and then holding it down and painting over it. Something to keep in mind, you can go from the other direction. Sometimes it's easier to go from the opposite side rather than starting all the way to the left. A lot of people seem to forget that. Now, we can also use the mouse to double click a word. Now, when you double click, it will highlight just that word. And finally, with the mouse, we can also triple click. Triple click will select the entire paragraph. Now let's move on to the keyboard. Now, one of the more effective uses of the keyboard is to extend a selection or make a selection smaller. So for example, if I want to make this selection smaller, it's easiest with the keyboard. Now, to reduce the selection, I can simply hold down Shift and then press the left arrow or the right arrow to make it smaller or make it bigger. So you don't have to select the entire selection again. Now, another useful keyboard shortcut to selecting text is holding down Control and Shift. So Control and Shift will let you extend or reduce the selection one word at a time. And the last keyboard technique I'm going to give you as far as selecting text is selecting everything in your document. Now, that's the universal shortcut for Select All, which is Control A. And you can see everything is selected in my document. Now let's move on to using the mouse and the keyboard together. Now, first shortcut I'm going to give you with mouse and keyboard is holding down the Control button. Now, when you hold down the Control button and click on a sentence, it will select just that sentence. So that can be useful if you want to pick out one thing. You can also use your keyboard or mouse to make multiple selections. So for instance, if I wanted to select multiple paragraphs, I would highlight my first one, and then when I select the other ones, I can hold down Control and it'll allow me to keep selecting multiple paragraphs. Now, the last technique we're going to use with the mouse and keyboard is we're going to do multiple clicks. Now, this is very useful for selecting a large selection of text because sometimes dragging it may be a long process if you have to drag over several pages. So this can help when you're doing a large selection. So for instance, I might want all the text from media over here. So I'm going to click in front of media. And I don't need to hold anything down really. I'm just going to scroll down to where the end of my selection should be. Now, before I click after reading view, the end of the sentence here, I simply just have to press Shift on my keyboard and then click. Now, it's selected everything from the first click I did to the second click. Now, the last way we're going to select text is by using the selection bar. Now, the selection bar is a section of our document that you'll only notice when you move your cursor to a certain point on your Word document. Now, if I move my mouse to the left, I should see it finally change to an arrow pointing to the right. Now, when you see that, you know you're in the selection bar. Now the selection bar is great for selecting headings or single line. We can simply click and it will select that entire line. Now the selection bar is also great for selecting multiple lines that are not next to each other. So I might want to select multiple headings to apply some formatting to it. So to select them, I can just click the first one, hold down Control, and then select the other ones I want to highlight. Now you can also select an entire paragraph by clicking and then just dragging. We can double click to select the paragraph, and we can also triple click to select the entire document. I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching.